Peter Zwack from Washington, D.C. He's a retired Brigadier General who served as the United States' senior defense official and attaché to the Russian Federation. Welcome to the program. Now, we're hearing from the Pentagon that Russia has started repositioning less than 20% of its forces assembled around the capital, Kiev. What do you think they're doing, and where could they be headed to?
Good evening. The Russians, we're talking principally about the massive Russian forces that are north and northeast of Kiev. They have been badly bloodied. They've been in contact for 5 weeks. They've not had much headway, and they have actually been pushed back. Their logistics lines are likely they're very stretched and likely broken. So they're pulling back a percentage of their forces to refit, to reorganize, and probably shift down toward the south to help the offensive in the Donbass, in the actual eastern Ukraine portion of Donetsk and Luhansk. They will keep a sizable force in the Kyiv area, I believe, to maintain pressure, continue to pin down Ukrainian troops, and to try to prevent any more successful Ukrainian attacks, which I don't believe will be successful for the Russians. So it is a reorganization. It is they are removing, and it is certainly not their original plan. So when the Russians say this was all part of the original concept, no, this is because they've been defeated, especially near Kyiv, and now they're reorganizing and redirecting their forces.
And talk to us about what happened near Kyiv and, of course, Irpin itself, the significance and symbolism of that. We're hearing it is now under Ukrainian control. Yes, the symbolism and significance of that.
Absolutely. I mean, frankly, what we've seen in the defense has been rather extraordinary. And we felt that the Ukrainians were tough and good fight, but what they've done to the Russians up there, by the way, you're dealing now with morale, motivation, will to fight, fighting for the homeland, none of which the Russian forces, many of them young draftees, conscripts, don't have. They've been put into this buzzsaw with false information and exaggeration, and now they're paying for it. Yes, this has been rather extraordinary, but it's only phase one. It's probably toward the end of phase one. The Russians want to do negotiations. Nobody trusts them, but nobody expects them to pull. There's going to be another and very, very ugly military round, and in the south, and is still on fire. And of course, major fights around Lugansk, Donetsk, the city of Kharkiv, which is becoming yet another Stalingrad, along with Mariupol. And the Russian forces just aren't big enough and motivated enough to take these things on right now. So they're just going to shell and make it as painful, and the civilian casualties are awful. Last thing, the longer that the Ukrainians hold in a terrible price, and the like-minded countries of the world, because it isn't just NATO and the US, it's other nations, support in every way, diplomatically and everything else. This puts huge pressure on the Russians domestically and inside the Kremlin. Is that why,
sorry to interrupt, we're hearing reports of foreign soldiers, mercenaries, to use that word, from Syria. There were many reports today that are being drafted in. Will they have the morale that you're saying is needed to continue that fight where the Russian soldiers lack that?
It's a great question. I think that they're bringing in the Syrians as cannon fodder, because they've taken so many losses among their native Russian forces. And also, maybe they have a sense that the Syrians might be more ruthless. However, I believe whatever happens, introducing the Syrian mercenaries or forces and Chechens, all that's going to do, it will make things bloodier. And we think that the Ukrainian resistance is tough now when you put these foreign international hosts in there, it will get even uglier and the Ukrainian resistance even tougher.
And another question for you. We've heard reports that President Putin has been misled by his own defense generals. What do you make of that? And because of that loss of face, how do you think President Putin could react?
Again, a great question. I've seen the speculation. I'm always wary of speculation, but I will try. I think that when you're dealing with a regime of such, where loyalty, and all governments, regimes want loyalty. That's part of being, but loyalty first. And loyalty, I think, in that regime, the higher you get, is in part being able to tell the boss or provide the boss what he or she wants to see and hear, and while. And the boss, what he provides patronage, he provides access, and he expects utter loyalty. And a lot of these seniors, whether Russian military or up in the Kremlin, all that they have right now is based on Putin being in power and effective, and they're afraid of him because, as we're all seeing, it's getting increasingly punitive. We've seen the intelligence services have problems, people resigning or being fired. The military has got more and more issues internally, and this is all signs of an autocratic, dictatorial, almost totalitarian regime that is moving away from Soviet toward something more Stalinist.
Great to speak to you, and really enjoyed our conversation. Brigadier General Peter Zwack, thank you so much.